Hi guys, Dr. Mel here. We're busy with chemistry and we are still doing quantitative chemistry. Quantities, very important when we do work with reactions, chemical reactions, reactants, and products, and knowing what we are getting when we throw stuff together and we make a few other things. So it's important to know the quantities. The mole we did in the previous clip is the word for, I'm going to do it here, the word for mole is actually meaning heap. And in the previous lesson, we said they counted how many atoms will there be, and they named that a mole. Now, I have to stress this right in the beginning. You can either use the word mole spelt like that or mole spelt like that because it's interchangeable. It depends on the textbook you're using, but we will be working with that as if it's exactly the same because it is. Guys, I have to remind you, you cannot do physics or chemistry without a pen in your hand, a piece of paper in front of you, and remember, this is chemistry. So you have your largest script note ever with you, your periodic table. Please get that whilst you see and listen to this lesson so that you can work with me. Otherwise, it's me talking and you sitting and listening to what I'm saying. Right, let's go to quantities. I've got eggs there in a holder. Now, if you go and you count those eggs, you'll see it's 12 eggs. We pack eggs in a holder other than counting one by one in a shop, and we name that a dozen. So any dozen will signify the number 12. A dozen cups, a dozen knives, a dozen matches. Everything that has got the word dozen will mean 12. I've got six there. It's a six pack. That also gives you an idea that the number of a six pack will be six. That's much easier. But what I want to get to is that that's a half a dozen. So remember, you shouldn't be drinking Corona. You aren't at the age of drinking yet, but please have something else, a half a dozen. If you're working in a shop selling shoes or socks, you preferably sell them as a pair, and a pair will be two. So you can walk around in the house and ask your mom, where's my pair of shoes? And she'll know you're talking about two. So the word pair means two. So what do we do when we work with chemistry? Well, we've got another term, and we'll get to that just now. So how will these concepts be asked and used in chemistry? I'm going to start off with a very, very easy equation. I've got one banana weighing 120 grams. Now remember, it might be that this one measures 120 grams and this one 121 and that one maybe 180. So I'm never working with one specific mass. In average, I then got an average. But now I got one banana weighing 120 grams. The question put to me, what is the weight of 10 bananas? Now, I'm sure you could sit there and say 10 times 120 would give me 1,200 grams. What I want to explain to you is how did you get to that? So, if one banana weighs 120 grams, the question is, what will 10 bananas weigh? And you would actually put that down as x. And if you've got your algebra right and you've been doing this in math since primary school, you'll know I'll multiply the 10 with the 120. So it's 10 times 120, and I'm going to divide it with the 1, giving me the exact figure of 1,200 grams. And remember, on average, we now say it is 120 gram per banana, but they will be different masses. You can see there. And we're going to use this right through the periodic table because we're working with average. Right, let's have a look at another question in terms of bananas. if one banana weighs 120 grams, when I weighed a bunch of bananas, the weight was 4,200 grams. So if I had one banana, I had 120 grams. I now have the number of bananas asked, and I know the weight is 4,200 grams. Again, on average, what will they mean? They will have 120 grams average, and they're asking me how many bananas do I have. Now we go exactly the same route. We will multiply 4,200 with the 1, and we will divide with 120. And can you see now, you will get an answer of 35 bananas. So you can switch from whatever is asked to the other by working with your crossover technique. You've done that in primary school. As I said, our biggest help and assessment of chemistry happens with the periodic table. Remember, the periodic table gives me masses. And remember, that's a specific mass. And I'm quickly going to have a look at that now. So what we do, we weigh, and can you see this is a chemistry scale, and we determine the mass in grams on a chemistry scale. So you will have a little beaker there, and you will throw in a substance, and you know these might be atoms, or they might even be molecules, and you'll see there on your digital scale a reading, and that will give you the mass of how many of the number of atoms or molecules that you actually put into that beaker. Right, where does it come from? Well, it is the work of Avogadro. That's a number that you'll know. He said, if I take carbon, it's accessible, it's cheap. If I take carbon and I measure the carbon, he put it onto a scale, and as soon as he got to a reading of 12 grams, he then went and counted every atom. He then got to that number, which is 6 times 10 to the 23rd, and to be accurate, 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd atoms. And that he called 1 mole. And again, I'm using those two. If he had, let me quickly just show you, if he had 12 atoms, it would be 1 dozen. But it's not 12. It's 6.202 times 10 to the 23. What is that number, guys? We did it in the previous lesson. Remember, it's 602. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. That number is the number that I've written there. It's on your information sheet. You turn around your periodic table and you find the Avogadro number there, and that's when you write it out, that's how it looks like. But we work with exponents. Please don't write numbers with zeros like that. It's very easy to make a mistake. Right, what do we know about molar mass? If you have a look on your information sheet, you'll find this specific equation. So what does it mean? It says N will be the mole. So again, it's either mole or mole like that. That's the number mole of the specific mass that I've given you. That's the given mass. And this will be the molar mass. And guys, this molar mass is in your periodic table. We'll do a few calculations just now. The definition of molar mass, it's the mass in grams of a single average, can you see we're getting to that average, atom of that element relative. It was weighed against the same amount that we had carbon. And remember, when we weighed the carbon, it was 12 grams. So we're taking that, everything that's more or less is relative to carbon. The mass of 1 mole of an element is then that specific molar mass. And again, this is the given mass. So we can relate that to the bananas, but let's go to chemical elements in the periodic table. The question, how many mole in 23 grams sodium? So if you have a look at your periodic table, you've got in group 1 hydrogen, lithium, sodium, and potassium. The periodic table I've got on the screen signifies 21.99. The one you get probably in the exams will have a different number to that. It is usually 23 grams, but it doesn't really matter. You use the number given to you in the periodic table. So that's what you're going to use. Let's use the 23 because that's usually in your periodic table. How many mole in 23 gram? Well, it says here 23 gram is the mass of what? Of 1 mole. Because they measured carbon and they got 12, they measured beryllium, they measured magnesium and calcium. That specific number there is the mass of 1 mole. Be careful that you forget how to translate the information in the periodic table. The question put to you will be something like, how many mole in 2.3 grams? Now I'm going to do exactly the same as I did with the bananas. If 1 mole is 23 grams, how many mole in 2.3 grams? What did we do when we did that calculation? We multiplied that with each other. So it's 2.3 times 1 over 23. And you now get a number of 0.1 mole. So are we answering the question? What's the number of moles in 2.3 grams sodium? 0.0 mole of sodium. Always write down the element that you are working with. Let's have a look at another question. What is the mass of 2 mole? And have a look now. They're asking me sodium chloride. Now again, this specific example here is 58.44. Now we have to remember that sodium chloride is a compound with sodium and chloride. And what you have here is that would be 23 grams as we did in the previous calculation. And let's say this one is 35.44. You can also see in some of the periodic tables, it might be 35.5. But we're going to work with this 58.44. So I've got 1 sodium, 23 grams, 1 mole then, 1 mole, and 1 mole of chloride, 35.44. They're asking me what's the mass of 2 mole. So what do I have? 1 mole has a mass of 58.44 grams. I don't want to know 1. I'm being asked to calculate 2 mole. So what do I have? I'm again going to calculate the multiplication of 58.44 times 2. And I'm going to divide with 1. And you'll get an answer of 116.88 grams. Does it make sense? Will 2 mole be double that of the 1? Yes, it makes sense. I'm going to do the calculations. You don't have to do the whole calculation like this. I'm just showing you every time where it's coming from. Another question. Calculate the number of mole. So they're asking me to calculate the number of mole of iron. So I need to know the number of mole in iron, and they're giving me the sample weight, which is 11.7. So what do I know? I know what's the mass of 1 mole iron. If you have a look on your periodic table, you'll find 1 mole of iron weighs 56 grams. But they didn't ask me 56, they actually said 11.7 grams. Exactly the same procedure. I want to find X. So it's 11.7 times the 1 divided by the 56. You'll get your answer as 0.2089. We can round that to 0.21. And what did we find? It's the number of mole, and it's mole, and it's iron. So what's the weight of 0.21 mole iron? 11.7 grams. Can you see it relates to each other? Right. Molar mass, a different question. You have a sample of 5 mole zinc. So you've got in a sample here 5 times 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd zinc. That's what you've got. That is 5 mole. So let's see what they're asking me. What is the mass of the zinc? Again, I know in my periodic table, if you have a look where zinc is in the elements, you'll find the number 65 written down there. So that's the mass of 1 mole. 1 mole zinc weighs, and you don't have to write weigh or whatever, it's a relation. You can just say 1 mole zinc is represented by 65 grams. I didn't want to know the 1. They asked me 5. 5 mole zinc will be, can you remember what to do? I'm going to multiply those two, 65 times 5, and I'm going to divide with 1. And you probably could just say, okay, if I've got 5, it's 5 times 65. It's easy. But here I just showed you the actual steps, and you'll now get a value of 325 grams. Is it more than 1 mole? Yes, it's 5 times more because it's 5 mole. What do we do when we get into a chemical reaction and we get questions? This question is, I've got hydrogen gas. Can you see there? Hydrogen gas added with oxygen gas, and I'm making damp. So this is water damp, or the gaseous water. Firstly, guys, you have to balance your equation. Carefully have a look. I've got hydrogen reactant. Can you see I've got 2 atoms? That means there's 1 and another bound like that. They are bound in 1 molecule, and it's a diatom. This side I also have 2. So it seems like at this stage hydrogen being balanced. On the other side we've got oxygen, and here you can see the oxygen. Let's draw it there. I'm going to draw it like that. I've got 2 this side, but I only have 1 this side. So you will probably have to balance. You've done that before. It will be 2 of this, giving me 2 oxygen, but 4 hydrogen. Can you see that? 2 times 2, and then I'll have to add another 2 there. Now let's just go back and see. I now have 2 of these molecules, and I've got 4 of them here, and this will probably look like this. So I've got an oxygen and another oxygen, and I've got 2 hydrogens there. Just let's make sure. What do we have? I've got 4 hydrogens going in. I've got 4 hydrogens coming out. I've got 2 oxygens going in, and I've got 2 oxygens going out. So what does that mean? It means I've got 2 mole of hydrogen with 1 mole of oxygen, giving me 2 mole of water. So whenever you balance a chemical equation, that number in front there will signify, here's a 1, that will signify the mole. So very careful. Balance your equation because then you can work with the mole. So this was just a final slide to show you where we're going to use the mole. Let's see. Can you define 1 mole? Do you know what 1 mole is? Remember, it's related to 12 grams of carbon and it's the number of atoms. If I asked you define 1 dozen, you would say 12 eggs, 12 cups, 12 cold drinks will be 1 dozen. Here I've got 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd, giving me the number in a mole. You'll have to be able to define relative atomic mass, define molar mass, and remember the calculations we did was with this specific equation, which is on your information sheet. I hope you enjoy working with molar mass because it's really nice getting everything correct and getting all your marks. Bye-bye.